I used to think that to be Christ-like meant to be alienated and put off by the sin of others. But it's quite the opposite. Refusing to be alienated and put off by the sin of others is what allows me to be Christ-like. Recently, I saw an article in a mainstream online magazine about the hip-hop artist Lecrae, who's an outspoken believer. Lecrae loads his music with thoughtful reflections on all aspects of life, including, and especially, the good news of God's love for us. The article read, "Christians have no idea how to deal with art," Lecrae said more recently during a September speech to Christian leaders. They say, "Hey, Lecrae, you can't do that. That's bad. That's secular. You can't touch that. Hey, Lecrae, your engineer is not a Christian. He can't mix your stuff. He's going to get sinner cooties on it. This is real. I wish I was making this up," he said. Yeah, me too. I wish he were making it up. The writer of the article went on to explain this mindset to a mainstream readership, and I think he nailed it. Evangelicals adopted an isolationist mindset for much of the 20th century. Non-Christians, the thinking went, carried sin like a virus, and the point of following Jesus was to remain as pure as possible. Christians established their own communities, educational institutions, and music festivals separate from the rest of the world. Again, I wish it weren't true, and not just of evangelical culture generally, but of myself specifically. I used to think it was not only prudent, but my duty to be offended by others' sins. Somehow, I took the example of the King of Kings, who wanted to be with us so much that he lowered himself to be born in a barn full of animals and manure, and I thought it meant I was supposed to raise myself above and away from the messy lives of others. I guess I thought I was always on defense, guarding myself against the contamination as though my heart weren't already contaminated with my own self-regard. Worse, perhaps, I think I bought into the idea that God and the enemy are equals, caught up in the classic melodrama of evenly matched good versus evil. It sounds about right, with God on one shoulder and Satan on the other, whispering into our ears, one telling us to be nice and the other telling us to be selfish. I'm not sure where I got that idea, but it may have been from the noted theologian Fred Flintstone. But the kingdom of God is not on defense. I used to read in Matthew 16 where Jesus was talking about the gates of hell coming against the church and how they would not prevail against it, and I'd think, that's great, we can stand up to the worst attacks. But that doesn't make any sense. Gates don't attack. I'm kind of a military history nerd, and I still miss this. This reference isn't defensive at all. It's about being on offense. What it actually sounds like is this: Jesus is sending his followers out to love others, and they can go anywhere, even through the gates of hell, to do it.